Leadership power energizes the strengths of your professional skills inventory. Hello, and welcome to this episode of Leadership Power Paradigms. This is Bill Thomas, your host and presenter for today's episode. I hope everyone is well today. And as I look just to see what's happening and who it's happening with, and we await for our other people to join us. Oops. All right. And I get my other little bits and pieces together here too. Okay. Great. Looks good. Uh, well, welcome everybody to this episode of Leadership Power Paradigms. This is Bill Thomas, your host and presenter for today's episode. And I am going to begin our presentation in just a quick second. Welcome to this episode of Leadership Power Paradigms. This is Bill Thomas, your host and presenter for today's episode. In these next 14 or so minutes, we'll look at the sources, forms, and operations of energy used by those people who are in the profession of leadership. So let's get started. When Jesus Christ walked upon the earth, the Apostle Paul saw and learned this success system that cannot fail, actually lived out and through the real-life examples and specific teachings of Jesus himself. In his letter to all Christian believers, Peter identifies an inventory of success attributes which will empower the Christ-centered behaviors, strategic actions, and loving attitudes of Christians to help them live a fail-proof, highly effective, and profitably fruitful life. Even though most people think that information is really important these days, you have to understand that information has always been the lifeblood of social systems and society in general. Information has been the essential element that gives human beings the energy and energizing push to achieve great and useful results, to believe in moral and ethical values, and to conceive new solutions and clever ideas. In a word, leaders need to absorb, evaluate, and understand information. They need to open up their hearts and minds to being informed. They have to generously exchange information with others. Remember that the model for all natural, physical, and social technologies is based upon your understanding of the biologic processes, which are the life-giving, life-sustaining, and life-regenerating processes that occur within any entity or social event or activity, ecological niche or industry sector or professional field or ecosystem or organization or organized enterprise. Let me say it this way. If the information that you hear, share, or analyze gives, sustains, or regenerates life in your social activities, in society's niches, or human-populated organizations, then your people and you will see and produce highly profitable and valuable results. Because, as Durkheim's axiom of social authority reflects, and as other social scientists like Greg Henriques in his Tree of Knowledge system prescribes, we now know that what all leaders must keep in the front of their minds is this one very important fact. Society, for most people, is not an abstract term for a conceptual explanation to make sense of social behavior. Rather, society is almost real, a thing to be discovered, not socially constructed. For leaders, however, society must be constructed, it must be managed, and it has to be continuously developed with an eye towards improving that society by adapting it through processes of change or through shaping society's better nature and qualities. Every day, people work with the features, or let's define those aspects of social space as those areas or arenas where human beings operate in, operate through, or operate on, We can be located or locate ourselves at different points in any of those spatial features. Everybody deals with handling the factors of social space, which are those environmental factors that can exert an influence or force on your physical, emotional, intellectual, social, creative, spiritual, or psychological sense of social space. Each factor can and does create a construct, an idea, or image of your location as you work in that feature and aspect of social space. For example, challenge factors could inspire or suppress your creativity by putting you into a state of flow or stopping you from making meaningful progress or suggesting another solution to a group problem. Bucky's structure, leaders who structure and organize their social spaces need to employ Buckminster Fuller's definition of a viable structural system. That is, you are dealing with many energy events which form a complex and highly ordered, self-organizing that's not relying on external but its own intrinsic forces, adaptive and able to change or respond to conditions or circumstances system that is dynamic and highly interactive with and making an impact on or affecting itself and its environments in all of its aspects. In Durkheim's axiom of social authority and Bucky Fuller's structural system definitions, we discovered how the realities of social authority are derived through the energetic sources of many social interactions, which involve the mutually beneficial enactments of the constructs or ideas that a particular society, social act, or social system embraces, along with the externally or internally influenced actors and the moral or ethical constraints adopted by the system and those actors. So leaders can employ speech acts, use language cues, encourage interactions between various cultural or ethnic groups, promote and engage people through stretch assignments and more challenging projects, empower everyone to assume greater leadership roles in visioning, planning, managing, coordinating, or communicating tasks. Strategically successful leaders realize the value of communicating their vision, the meaning of work to customers and for employees, building trust and being trustworthy, and delegating their own power and authority to all employees. That those are the types of leadership actions which pay off and produce massively profitable transformations in the intellect and spirit of the social actors in their organizational ecosystem. Simply put, if the energy events of your system include an element of each of these philosophical, moral, social, and structural agency positions, you will build the energy of empathy for your people or stakeholders, display commitment to your ideals, insights, or individuals, impact the meaning for your processes, policies, or products, and if your structural agency of signification inspires trust in your integrity, involvements, or intentions, your leadership power will be quantifiable and easily recognizable to everyone. If leaders wish to inspire, instruct, or inform the socially driven spatial or the physical, psychological, spiritual, creative, or social features throughout their ecosystemic entities, they must discover ways to effectively recognize and deal with the various environmental factors of challenges, conflicts, changes, conundrums, and chaos, which tend to disrupt, dissolve, or destabilize the cohesive forces of an organized enterprise. Using templates can empower leaders by helping them identify useful energy or information sources and handle any problem areas through taking proven purposeful actions. Everyone acts in and with the energy events of complex, self-organizing, dynamically adaptive systems. However, in most of today's organizational ecosystems, leaders are the primary actors. So, as Dr. Ludovico explains in his Evolving Systems paper, the generation of intentional interactions depends on each activator's expectations associated with the effects of the actions undertaken. Interactions and evaluation of the relative effects is a process that takes time, this being more or less long according to the nature of the interactions considered. Moreover, the interaction effects are far from being all simultaneous at variance with the detected interactions, which, as to each particular configuration, are instead surveyed or assessed with reference to the same unit of time. Thus, the actor's evaluation of the quality of their interaction effects may either confirm or disappoint the respective expectations. In both cases, the feedback from the interaction destinations may prime either tentative or irreversible, but not necessarily immediate adjustments or major modifications to subsequent interactions. End quote. The energies of your organizational ecosystem are simply flows of information which can take the form of ideas, instructions, insights, interpretations, investigations, ideals, introspections, or more information-based producing things. These information flows evolve through the intentional interactions of your ecosystem's activators, employees, stakeholder communities, and leaders. In a word, your leadership power apps are the applications of your skills, talents, abilities, strengths, and insights that you use to impact or affect the features, factors, or forces of your organization. As a leader, you are responsible for making inroads into analyzing problems and finding possibilities, producing improvements and increases, or shaping and creating new innovations. See how the energizing, those information carrying or informating mechanisms at work within social ecosystems include the processing, communicating, sending and receiving, or transducing and responding, or connecting, signaling, intention, desire, position, symbols, or protocols, filtering or blocking, channeling or controlling, amplifying, attenuating, transforming or rectifying, translating or formatting of information. Do you always obey Akerlof's law of transactional quality in all your conversations, discussions, and coordinating actions? When did you last perform an audit or assessment or evaluation of your professional leadership power strengths inventory? Where are you at your strongest? Where could you use some improvements or adjustments in your performances? Are you working on these strengths, skills, or abilities using your own resources? Or are you working with a consulting advisor, coach, and mentor, or experienced leadership expert? Do you appreciate that the better leader you are, the more prosperous and successful your organization will become? So, as we saw, leadership power actually consists of the energy or information sources supporting our behaviors, actions, abilities, talents, strengths, insights, skills, or attitudes. When we take the time and make the effort to professionally identify and rigorously work on improving those energy sources, leaders like you and I will build up, edify, and empower our own inventory of powerful strengths. This ends today's lesson. You are looking at the catalog of materials, training, and coaching support, which you can see, which are featured in my Leadership Power Paradigms Producer program. You can see that this program is designed to dramatically improve your leadership performances and use your leadership strengths to comprehensively empower the achievements of your people. Right now, this program is available to you at my lowest possible price, so I urge you to visit the webpage that you see right in the center of the slide there, which is www.one-iam.com/LPP-tools. Or you can click on the Enroll and Get Started Now button that you see on the right side of your screen. And if you like what you read on that page, go ahead and get going now. So when you click on the Enroll and Get Started Now button that is on the right-hand side of the screen, you will open up a new browser tab or a new browser window, so you won't lose your place here in the webinar. And if you like what you see, well, don't forget that I always offer my famous no questions asked, no risk to you money back guarantee for this program. So you really have nothing to lose by enrolling now in this awesome educational program. And as you're clicking on that button right now, that Enroll and Get Started Now button, or if you're typing in, you've opened up a new browser window and you type www.one-iam.com/LPP-tools. That's right in the center of the slide that you see on your screen there. It'll take you to the page which has a lot more information about this program. And as you're doing that, I'm going to run back over to my control panel and send you the links to our 2 bonus gifts for attending today's webinar. In fact, while I'm looking here, I just want to see who's here and what's happening. Okay. Yeah, the first bonus gift is the Words with Wisdom paper. It's an 8-page PDF document. It includes such things as the strategies and principles and tips and techniques that we described in both today's episode of Leadership Power Paradigms, as well as in some of our previous episodes of Leadership Power Paradigms. And it's a great little resource. It's 8 pages. It is a PDF document, so I would encourage you to download it, and you can read it on your computing device, or you can even read it online for that matter if you wish. But I would always say, hey, download it, because that way you'll have it. You'll have it so that you can continue to read it even when you get interrupted. And for some people, they like to print out these kind of documents, and it's only 8 pages. So, hey, why not? Go ahead and print it out. And that way you can refer to it from time to time. And the second bonus gift that I have for you is the infographic. It is a 1-page PDF document. It is titled The 5 Leadership Uplifter Tasks. And like I said, it is an infographic, so download that. It's a PDF document. It fits on 1 sheet of paper. As soon as you get it on your computer, I would strongly urge you to print it out, put it on your desk, or put it on a wall where you can refer to it as you go through your day as a leader. And if you find yourself performing one or more of those 5 tasks in every one of your leadership actions, you will see the effectiveness of your leadership come through in the performance. If you are not doing one of those 5 tasks, well, you're probably not really an effective leader at that point in time. So it's a great little tool and resource for you. Once again, I urge you to download it, print it, put it somewhere where you can refer to it constantly, and that way you've got it. You've got it so that, hey, it's, like I say, it's a great resource and a great tool. Let's see. I don't see any comments from those who were attending the live session here. I'm also sending out just making sure I'm sending out those bonus gifts again. And if you have any questions as a live person, you can just type that into the question area or the chat area. And if you're watching the replay recording of today's episode, why then you will see the question box on the right hand side of your screen. All you need to do is to type in your question or your comment and press the email us. It will be automatically sent to me, emailed to me, as well as your name and your email address will be included because you needed to do that to register. And my system recognizes that, oh, it's you who typed in that question, so you don't have to include your name or your email address. Just type in your question or your comment and press the email us, and I will respond to you. I respond to all the emailed questions and comments from both the replay as well as the live people. So anyway, I don't see any questions or comments from the live audience, so I'm going to say, well, listen, this has been grand. Thank you once again for this opportunity. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Leadership Power Paradigms. This is Bill Thomas, your host and presenter for today's episode. I say God bless each and every one of you. Godspeed to you all, and I wish you all the very best of success in all of your leadership endeavors. Take care.